Wouldn't it be great if this video contained the answer to the question, how many words should my book be? Well, spoiler alert, there is no one correct answer. It depends on your particular book. But I do have some guidelines for you in today's video. Hi, I'm Jodi Brandon of Jodi Brandon Editorial. I'm a book writing coach, book editor, and publishing consultant who works with solopreneurs, creative entrepreneurs, and bloggers who want to scale their business with a book or ebook. And today we're talking all about word count and book length. And these are questions that I am asked about every single day, usually multiple times per day if I'm being honest. Because people want to know, right? How many words do I need to write? The biggest takeaway for you should be this. Don't focus on the number, focus on your content. Your book should be however long, however many words it takes to adequately cover the topic that you're writing about. There's a sweet spot somewhere where you are covering the topic without adding too much information that might not really be relevant or leaving something out that needs to really be in there. How do you find this sweet spot? You don't do it on your own. You work with a writing coach or an editor. You get feedback from beta readers while you're in the midst of writing. That feedback and those people will help you figure out, have I covered this adequately enough? Am I missing anything? Is there anything in here that's not really necessary and could be cut? At that point, and only that point, when you've reached that sweet spot, should you figure out where your word count is. I know it's hard not to check every single day. And I'm guilty of that myself as a writer, but try not to focus too much on that and focus instead on the content. But once you're finished and you have found that sweet spot and your manuscript is ready, then you find out what your word count is. And then you take that word count and figure out, are you in the right range? And here are where the guidelines come in, the numbers, right? The average nonfiction adult trade book in the business or self-help categories, which are what most author entrepreneurs are writing, is somewhere between 40 and 80,000 words, let's say. You will see numbers, if you Google it, you will see numbers as low as 20,000, you will see numbers as high as 120,000. So let's use 50,000 words just sort of as like the benchmark, just for easy math, right? If you're in that range, you're probably okay. And 50,000 words is going to get you about a 250-page book. And I say about because on average, a 5¼ by 8¼ book, physical trim size of a book, which is what most adult trade paperbacks are, you can get on average 200 words on a page. Now, obviously there's a lot of variables there. What are your margins? What font size are you using? What font are you using? Are there blank pages between chapters, for example, blank left-hand pages to start a chapter on a right-hand page? All of those things factor in. There's going to be lots of pages that don't have 200 words on them. Maybe you have a half-page chart, for example, with, not nearly as many words in it as general regular text would be on the page. Or maybe you have appendices with worksheets with lots of space for readers to fill in or journal or whatever. Those will obviously have much fewer than 200 words on them. So it's an average. So on average, 200 words a page. So you take however many words you have, and then you take that 200 words on a page, and then you can figure out about how many pages your book would be, which for some reason is something we all care so much about before we're publishing a book, right? We want to make sure that it's not going to be, like 58 pages and flimsy, but I think we should be equally concerned with not having the book be, 500 pages, because that's not a general adult trade nonfiction book. If it's that big, then that's probably really should be broken into multiple books. So you want to be somewhere in that range, of the books that you like to read, right, are usually, I would say, anywhere between 150 and 250 pages. Anything outside of that range is really, at least for me, not a super comfortable read. For what I'm looking for when I'm picking up an adult trade paperback, right? So again, no set answer. Unfortunately, I wish it were that simple, but there are some guidelines. The biggest one being focus on your content before you focus on that number. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, comment below, let me know. I would love it if you liked and subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you next time.